Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
The post-Civil War landscape of the American West offers escape and opportunities to many new immigrants who come to the country's shore. A few of them brave the journey to the camp town of Missouri Crossing, each looking for a new lease on life in the Dakota Territories. Join the settlers of Missouri Crossing, including Gregory Smith, played by Joaquin, Sister Margaret Miller, played by Monica, Bjorn Hagman, played by Chris, and Craig as the keeper of arcane lore, as we explore the horrors that await us on Down Darker Trails. Sister Margaret, you've been walking for weeks and weeks and weeks, and at some point you are starting to run out of clean bandages for your feet. So because of your botch earlier, I'm actually going to have you take 1 point of HP damage.
Okay.
All right. So you've been going for weeks and weeks, and eventually you get to what is probably the most difficult point of your journey as you've been planning it. And you get to the side of this big river, which you are told is called the Mississippi. So it is probably the widest river that you've ever done, but you're supposed to find a way to cross it. Every other time you encountered a river, you're able to just kind of drive through it or just lighten the load a little bit and just unpack it, drive the wagon across and carry it. And sometimes you spent a few days doing it. But at this point, you reach the edge and you have not yet been able to find a good spot to do a crossing. This thing is wide enough that you think if you try to swim across it, you would get tired. So what you need to do is find a suitable place that's crossing. And a lot of the more senior people who have done this sort of thing before are getting together and they're discussing what the plan should be. The three of you are also, your input is also sought, being representatives of your various families or organizations. And the census is that you would need to unpack on the eastern border and find a spot to do a crossing. But in the meantime, they're kind of fishing for ideas, so to speak, about how long people should stay. Should you just break into a camp right now? Does anyone have any ideas to put forward?
Can I make a roll to see if I have any, find a way to, a shallow point for people to go across? Is there any kind of roll I can make?
Survival or navigation might work. Survival, maybe you could think of some ways to kind of push through, or navigation maybe to do some scouting.
I do not have any of those two. Well, I do, but I have them at very low percentages at 10%. So I'm going to go up to Mr. Freeman and I'm going to ask him, so what do you do normally in situations like this, Mr. Freeman?
Well, usually we've driven Texas to Chicago being our normal route, and the basic idea was avoid crossing the Mississippi as often as possible. I know some crossings, but they are many hundred miles away.
No, that will prevent you from we don't have supplies for that, I take it.
Well, I don't see the point in traveling hundreds of miles south in order to just cross at the known points and then make our way hundreds of miles north again.
Yeah, that seems like a very good strategy. Do you have any ideas on how we can handle this? I don't seem to have any myself.
We're trying to source them right now, and Russ Freeman's eyes kind of fall on Gregory and Margaret.
All right, yeah, so I'm going to try to see if I can do a survival roll. I only got 30 in it, so wish me luck.
Good luck with your survival roll, Gregory.
I mean, luck hold out, please. Luck hold out. Yes! 25 out of 30. Should go to Vegas with this kind of luck.
Vegas. We would start to make Bismarck the new Vegas. Go ahead. Sorry.
Monica, would you like to make a roll to put anything in, or are you just going to defer to Gregory?
I'll defer to Gregory because mainly I don't think there's any skills that she can really use.
All right, Gregory, don't forget to check your survival skill. But you're kind of thinking that maybe making a camp right here while you consider options would be a good idea. Russ agrees and then suggests that maybe scrubbing some wax canvas with some extra wax just to protect some more perishable goods in case things get wet is a good idea. But most importantly, you come up with the idea of maybe sending scouts along north and south of your position to maybe either look for a crossing or perhaps run into someone who could help.
I'll do the head north with the scouting parties if you need some volunteers.
Russ kind of nods to you.
So laying down camp it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bjorn's heading north to scout. Is there any of you want to go south? Does anyone want to take the lead on the preparations at camp?
Yeah, I think Gregory would definitely be one of the ones to help sort of set up camp because he's not a good horse rider at all.
I think Sister Margaret would also assist with setting up camp, but seeing a river has her a little bit more preoccupied with the idea of finally bathing and cleaning her feet.
Before I leave, I'm going to look at Sister Margaret. I'm like, Sister Margaret, if you go to the water there and clean your feet and everything, bring Johan with you, okay? He'll keep an eye, make sure nothing happens. I'll talk
Thank
to
you,
him.
Mr. Hagman. I definitely do need to have a wash.
Yes, of course. And I go up to my son before I take off real quick. Hey boy, how you doing?
Father, I am well. Yeah, lots of hard work, but you weren't lying about this not being easy. But I'm just tired all the time.
Yeah, I feel you. But you're doing good. I'm proud of you. Your mother would be proud of you too, you know that.
Yeah, but I'm hungry and I just want to be able to sleep or read or do anything.
Yeah, we'll be there eventually. We'll get there. All due time. All this hard work will help us follow our dream and meet our dream. It will, trust me. But for now, I got a favor to ask you, son, and I'm going to need you to do this, okay?
What is it?
Sister Margaret, she's going to go perhaps clean her feet. And you know how some of the ruffians are around here and everything. So, like I taught you, I want you to keep your eyes open and make sure that she's taken care of and no one bothers her. Usually, a sight of another man will stop someone from taking advantage, okay?
He nods. But how would I keep her safe? I don't have a gun.
Oh, well, maybe it's time we talk about giving you one. What do you think about that?
And he kind of lights up at the idea because, like, growing up, he's kind of admired you as a police officer and like a man in charge and someone who can like make the bad guys do what you want them to do. Basically, would be how you might have phrased it to him when he was younger. But he's now starting to get old enough to understand that the power of being armed is something like any man can do.
Yeah, and he's like 14, we said, right? Something
like 12 or 14 or something like that.
Yeah. So, and I take I have 2 pistols and a rifle. I take one of my pistols, and I'm like, here we go. There's 6 bullets in there, okay? Remember, don't pull it out. Don't play with it. I'm going to talk to Mr. Smith now. You hear? Mr. Smith's going to be guiding everything being done in the camp, and I'm going to tell him you're going to be watching the sister, okay? And I'm going to be telling him you have a gun. And if he tells me that you're playing around or horse playing or not doing any of the measures we talked about, we're going to take it away, and it's going to be a long time till we have a talk about you having one again, yes?
I won't let you down, Father. And he kind of it looks like he's about to do something fancy, but then sees you and thinks better of it, and then just uncocks and uncocks the hammer, checks the chamber, and kind of like sticks it in the back of his waistband.
And remember that Mr. Smith will be watching you. He's tells me that he's going to probably use you when we get there to the crossing and he builds a shop. So remember, good impressions, okay?
Yes, Father. And
All right.
He just seems super excited and kind of runs off.
I'm gonna real quick before I leave. I'm gonna go up to Gregory while I'm on my horse. I'm just gonna look down on him and be like, "I gave my boy a pistol. He's gonna be watching Sister Margaret while she cleans herself. I just thought it would be good to have someone kind of standing by, so no one tries to take advantage. And if he gives you any heck while I'm gone, you let me know, and you of course could take a hand to him if you feel it needs to be. Okay?
Don't worry about that. I know. Didn't exactly fight in the war too much. I was around plenty of stupid young boys getting their hands on their guns, trying to think there.
I hope I taught him good. If not, though, a good hand across his head from you, I think we'll get him thinking straight. All right?
Don't worry about that. I know how to keep discipline.
All right, thank you, sir. And I just kind of like nod to him, tip my hat, and I just go right off to the north. Am I going by myself or am I going with others?
Probably going by yourself because
Okay.
there are other people, but most of them are being probably employed by Gregory to, pitch camp and do preparations. And plus there's like 600 head of cattle to take care of.
One thing that I'm going to try to do with my strategy going north whenever we get to that is I'm going to try to use my track skill to see if I can see if there's people who've crossed this river and
Sure. Let's break over to Gregory first. Gregory, what sort of preparations are you're kind of looked to as like one of the senior strong men of this wagon train? Like you're a skilled blacksmith, you're like a small business owner, and we kind of talked about how you're big in stature and strong. So like a lot of the people kind of like fall in line and are asking you for directions. Have you ever done anything like this before?
I think maybe he would have some idea because we mentioned he was in the Civil War, but he was like sort of like logistics part of it. So he was definitely he was part of moving around stuff, making sure when camps the headquarters and stuff will probably move around and shifting lines and stuff. So he has has some experience with stuff. Yeah, he wasn't the one in charge of that stuff, but he has picked up enough, I think, to have an idea of what he's doing.
So what sort of priorities of work are you establishing here?
So we obviously have the river right next to us for water and stuff, so we're good on that. So I think definitely just the big thing is to make sure that the cattle are secured in some place and they aren't just going to run the rest of the camp into the water or something. So they're just going to wreck everything if they get spooked.
Yeah, a lot of the cowboys agree with you there and kind of move to pasture the herd further away. So they're not interfering with your activities. What other sort of things are you directing people to do?
Since we're right by the river, I think we could probably have, make sure that we build stuff not too close to the river, just in case it does rain and get flooded or whatever. Because he has probably heard stories of how the Mississippi gets flooded and stuff. In his own time in Chicago, if rains do come, the water can just do a lot of damage if it's not properly prepared for. And then I guess, mostly just making sure that everything is high and dry and secure where it is. And then I suppose he's like, okay, so then we can start. Okay, so make sure some people are out, maybe if you want to go, people can go hunting if they want to, just pick up some fresher stuff so we don't have to save some of our, preserved foods, making sure that, any locals or whatever nobody tries to sneak up and rob us or anything, steal from the camp when we're not looking around.
Okay, I'm actually going to have you make an accounting roll because that seems like the most logistics adjacent role on the character sheet.
All right, no problem. Accounting, okay. Come on, luck, don't fail me now. I'm on a hot streak. I rolled a 1.
Well, basically, this camp on the eastern side is kind of bowing to your whim, and thy will be done. You think of something, and people are only too eager to do it. You're able to keep track, and in a sense, as you're unpacking some of the wagons and rearranging weights on them, you find some supplies that people thought were lost or not brought, and it's oh man, that salt barrel actually is salt pork. So just little things like that.
So yeah, I definitely think for him it's it's a nice change because after so long of been unable to just sort of stuck in the drudgery of just running the wagon and stuff, he's sort of missed the just how he had to shop and then had to keep the orders going, had to make sure work gets done. He sort of missed that. So now it's sort of like, okay, yeah, I'm in charge. Things are getting done under my watch. It feels good.
In fact, don't forget to check your accounting skill for that.
Yep. All right.
Sister Margaret, as you're assisting with packing, you kind of like get to a pause where you think you could break away and kind of like take care of yourself. And this young man that you've had a few conversations with before, but at this point, like he's wearing like dungarees and like this gray shirt that's way too big for him at this point, comes up to you and like he's trying to do his best American accent, but he's kind of failing at it. But he says, "Howdy, ma'am," tips his hat at you. "I'm here to make sure that you can, be safe and get all taken care of and such." You recognize him as Johan immediately.
Oh, well, I see they've sent the best of the best then. I'm just going to try to find a spot in the river where the current isn't too bad, so I can hopefully wash my feet. Will you keep an eye out for wild animals?
Of course, and any other unseemly folk that come along this way. And he kind of like slides the pistol in his waistband to the front and crosses his arms, trying to put on like a tough guy impersonation.
Oh my. Wow. I can see how certainly anybody would be scared if they saw you. Come along now. Help me to the banks.
By your leave, ma'am, is there anything you need help with? He's like looking around for like cloths or towels or whatever, like soap or anything you might have.
If you wouldn't mind, just carry that there rag and my soap. And once we get to the bank, I am afraid I will need a little bit of a hand getting down those smooth, slippery rocks. My feet have not been doing so well, so I'm afraid of slipping.
He smiles a bit. Of course, I'll take care of you, ma'am. And the two of you make your way over to the eastern side of the river. So I'm going to jump over to Chris again. Bjorn, you've been riding for a couple hours. Can you make me a track roll? This sort of like figure out if anyone's been in the area before.
Sure. Let me go ahead and do that. Oh, I got a 2 out of 50.
It's at least an extreme success in the 7th roll, so make sure you check that skill.
Yes, sir.
So you've been riding for about an hour north of here, and you figure north was a pretty good choice to go because you would need to keep going north anyways. So, but at some point you see like the unmistakable impressions of like horse hooves in the dirt along the river. And it seems to your senses that there's at least 2 horses, and you do recognize like a barefoot human print.
2, huh? And they're heading towards the river, you said, right? Or
yeah, like you've been basically hugging the river at your left as you've been making your way northwise, kind of using it as like a geographic handrail.
Gotcha. Yeah, heading north on the left, and I see the tracks are going north. You're saying, right? Too.
Like, the tracks are coming from the east, headed west up to the river.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna stop. How fresh are the tracks?
Looks like within a day or two. Obviously, it hasn't rained for a while, but you think that like even rivers have like high and low tides. So
yeah, that's what I'm looking at the river. Like where I kind of imagine where they'd be crossing and everything like that. Does it look any different than rest of the river or anything else stand?
Make me a navigate roll. I know it's probably not great, but
yeah, it's a navigate of 10, but it's worth a shot. Let's see if I can get some of that Quinn luck here that I have with that last roll. Oh wow, 2 results came up. That was weird. Yeah, neither of them passed, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but someone's definitely been in the area, and you were one of the first to leave camp, and by your reckoning, most of the people and animals that you brought with you were probably going to be pushed out further east rather than north, as per Gregory's suggestion.
Yeah. But we need to cross the river, though, right? So would this be a good crossing point, potentially, I'm thinking?
It might be, but you've never crossed anything this size and it's hard to tell how deep or wide it is. It's very wide, but unless you go in yourself, it's hard to tell the depth.
So I'm going to mark off this area with a stone or something so I can like find it easily next time. I'm going to hightail it back, see if I can make it back before it gets dark. You know what I mean? Because it's been a couple hours, you said, right?
Yeah, you rode out about an hour before you ran into the tracks.
So I'm going to hightail it back.
Okay. Margaret, you reach the eastern bank of the Mississippi River, and it's still wide and deep here, but you found a little bend where it's not as tumultuous. And Johan kind of goes up first to make sure that things are all right, and climbs down the side of the bank and kind of reaches his hand back to you to kind of help you down.
Okay, Sister Margaret will very carefully and with Johan's help slide to sit down at the very edge of the river, just enough so that her legs can be submerged, but not up to the knee, just somewhere halfway up her calf. And after unbandaging her feet, she's going to kind of take a quick look, and then she feels disgusted by the putrid smell. So she's going to look at Johan and say, young man, why don't you go and kind of patrol the perimeter? A lady does need a bit of privacy. I'm all right. I just need to wash my feet.
Oh, of course. And he kind of looks around, sticks the gun back into his waistband again, and starts climbing up the side again. And you wait a minute or two for him to his footsteps not to be audible anymore.
Yeah, she starts kind of putting one foot up on her knee to kind of get a closer look at the injuries. And she's seeing that there are definitely some deep sores in her feet. There's a pus oozing out, and she shakes her foot in the water, pulls it back out, and then she's kind of using her thumbs to squeeze at the sores. However painful it may be, she's just trying to get all the pus out, hoping that if she removes the pus from the sores, the smell would kind of be at bay. And once she gets that out, she just takes the raw Castile soap and just rubs it right on the bottoms and sides of her feet, trying to disinfect as much as possible and just kind of gritting her teeth through the pain.
All right. As disgusting as that sounds, let's have you make a first aid roll.
I passed 24 out of 45.
All right. So let's see. Well, you've actually only lost 1 point, so you can get that point back. It's not pretty. It hurts a lot to do it, but you think you've got a lot of the pus out, and the water kind of fills in and cleans out the abscesses, and as you're just standing in the cool water and just it's kind of up to your shins. You're not actually very far into it at this point, but it's nice and calm, and it just feels sensational on your feet, and it's probably the most relaxing thing you've felt in the past few months.
Yeah, and I feel once she's got her feet cleaned up, she's definitely feeling like she wants a full body bath, but given the depth of the river and the current, she doesn't dare to just jump in. So she'll wash herself up to her knees and then call Johan back to assist her with bandaging her feet back up so she can get back to camp.
All right. So yeah, you splash some water on yourself and kind of get your hands and face a little bit, and you call Johan. And can you make me a psychology roll?
I definitely passed that one out of 40.
All right. So make sure you check that and your first aid roll as well. But you have this unmistakable feeling that you called and he came out right away. He must have been really close.
Johan, were you lurking?
Oh, me, ma'am? Of course not. I was taking a walkabout and looking for things causing trouble. See?
I would hope not, because lurking is the devil's work.
Of course, ma'am. And yeah, I mean, I was definitely, keeping a lookout.
All right, I'm going to trust you, but just know it's not polite to peep at women. Women desire their privacy. I'm sure your father has taught you that.
And can you make me a listen roll?
90 out of 50.
All right, so you're paying attention to where you're stepping as you're getting out, and Johan kind of reaches down to help you up the bank, and then you didn't notice anything, so you start making your way back when all of a sudden you see him like yank out his gun and shoot at something across the river, and it goes pow, really close to you.
Margaret definitely jumps, startled, and puts one of her hands on Johan's shoulder. Oh my goodness. What was that? Did you see something? Was there a wild animal?
Oh, look over there. It's them. It's the savage.
A savage? Do you mean a red man?
You look down where he's pointing, and like you kind of see like a couple of like dark humanoid shapes on the other side of the river, and like they have like this, like it looks like a rock covered with deer skins next to them from this vantage point, and they just kind of seem to be looking at you from across the river.
Oh God, Johan. Okay. We have got to get back to camp. Where there's one savage, there's usually many. Just try not to draw any more attention. Conserve your bullets. Help me up. Help me get back. And we'll tell your father. We'll tell Mr. Smith. And hopefully the camp will be ready. I am worried that this is going to lead to some sort of attack.
Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am. And Johan kind of grabs your hands, and like the two of you go running back in the camp. Bjorn, you said you were hightailing back in camp, and right away the entire place is abuzz with like Indians planning an attack from the western part of the river.
I just come riding in quick then, and like I take my rifle out and I'm like riding towards there, like towards that side of the camp, you know what I mean? Just trying to keep a lookout with using my spot hidden skill or my spotting skill to see if I can see anything distinctly. I have spot hidden maybe that I can use. I don't know if I could use that.
Sure. Anyone in camp, or you can make a spot hidden at this point.
I got a 25.
I look finally right out. I rolled a 99 out of 20 and 30.
So, Gregory, you're kind of like super into your work, and you're not sure what all the fuss is about, but you're kind of ticked off that it's impeding your work. Bjorn, you definitely saw like this with what you found that print on the trail earlier does lead you to believe that there's something in the area, and you look and you do see a shape, but everyone's kind of like anxious and excited about what you see here. So scene's on you guys.
What's the commotion here?
I don't know. We were just setting up camp, then all of a sudden people just started getting all worked up about something. I don't know.
I'm looking around and seeing how everyone else is reacting. Are they heading that direction, or?
Most people, including Margaret and Johan, are kind of just like gathered on the eastern bank. And
okay, and it's coming from the western side, you're saying, correct, right? So I'm going to head over to the western side, and I'm just going to take my rifle, and I'm not going to fire, but I'm just trying to like focus, you know what I mean? Use the aim focus to see what I can see. You said I saw a figure and everything, but they don't look like there's a pack of people there, right?
No, and the general concessions you get is that there's two people and like some sort of like large thing the size of a small rock.
All right, listen, everyone. It's not our Aiden party. It's nothing like that. So everyone calm down. Shit. I'm going to look for Mr. Freeman. I'm going to roll up to him.
You're actually not able to find him. As far as you know, he went with some of the other cowpokes to tend to the herd. Yeah, you see your son and Margaret there as well.
I don't know where Mr. Freeman is, Gregory, but we're going to have to talk to these two, I think.
Yeah. So how do you know they're Indians? Like, can you like? Do they have? Do you see like their clothing? Do you see like have they like headdresses? What do they really have?
Do I see that, or do I just see their silhouette? Right.
Pretty much.
This is the silhouette. It's how they look against the and I'm thinking of a word, horizon.
Well, how do you know that? What they might not be? I mean, they could just be trapped. It could be fur traders or some, just a couple of
maybe they are
prospectors.
Yeah, maybe they are, but either way, I doubt they're a threat. I doubt they're a threat.
All right, let's calm everyone down. Okay, we don't need panic going up over just nothing.
How about you go calm them down? I'll go intersect and introduce ourselves.
Yeah. Your son Mark comes up to you, Gregory, and he says, "Yeah, Johan actually saw them."
What? Johan? What do you see? Wait, take me to him. I need to talk to him.
Your son kind of points across camp where Johan is kind of like standing sentry next to Sister Margaret with his gun at the ready.
Yeah, like Gregory will straighten the shoulders and go up and watch. All right, what's going on over here? Did someone say they saw savages?
Well, Mr. Smith, if I may, I was just washing my feet in the river and, young Master Johan here was taking care of me when all of a sudden, bang, I hear the sound of the gun. Young Master Johan here actually spotted these natives across us, just watching us. They were holding something like a rock or maybe a pile of skins. I'm not really sure. So we just thought it'd be best to come in here back to the camp and alert everyone in case there was any danger.
All right, so Gregory will turn to Johan. So you see them for certain they're they're Indians. They're not. Did you see any I don't know leather skins, bows, headdresses? What? How did you know they were Indians?
Well, it was just a quick peek. We didn't exactly stay long enough to find out, but given the way they were dressed, I wouldn't assume they were civil folk.
Well, how were they dressed? I can't see them. I can't make them out from this distance.
So Sister Margaret's gonna look at Johan and, kind of prod him with her elbow and say, "Master Johan, you got the better look. You let Mr. Smith know what you saw."
Yes. Well, sir, they're wearing these leather clothes, and I think they were at least, and two of them had long hair, and I couldn't get a really good look, but they weren't white men.
All right, that is probably Redskins. Well, all right, you just calm down, everyone. All right, there's only just two of them. All right, we don't need to get all into over just a couple of savages. But probably just as long as they stay on their side of the bank, we stay on ours. We make sure we have guards around. Everything will be fine. Just calm down. We ain't gonna be attacked probably.
Father Noss steps up and says, "Mr. Hagman, you had a chance to patrol. Did you run into anything, maybe a way across?"
No, I saw some tracks of two people, two horses and one on foot. That's all I was coming back here for, to find Mr. Freeman and let him know that I think I found a way across the river. But I can go talk to these two. It's not, you can see Bjorn is excited because he's read about, you know what I mean? And he doesn't see they're a threat and he really wants to, see them up close and interact with them, So he's just I can go talk to them, Father, find out what their business is since Mr. Freeman isn't here. Just keep everyone here calm, and I think that'd be a good plan ahead. I mean, would you agree, Gregory?
Yeah. Just if you can see what they want, and if worst case, we'll keep you covered from this side if things get heated. All right. Well.
All right. I'll go ahead and I'll ride ahead and I'll go speak to
my
him.
son, go with God, and may the Lord direct your actions.
Thank you. And I ride off towards the west.
Hunters Hunted 2 Corruption follows 4 hunters who have been plagued by the Supernatural Society and is a great place to start if you're looking for more games to listen to by Twin Cities by Night and you enjoyed Missouri Crossing.